Brandon Johnson here for everybody. Hit the raise your hand function. We'll start with questions. Start with David Oven and then go to David Pascal.
Hey, Brandon, you've been here a while. You've been in a lot of different offenses. What has all that change been like from the receiver's perspective, and what has it been like to have a second consecutive year in the same offense as a receiver?
It's been kind of cool to have some kind of normalcy going on. Like you said, it's my second year with Coach Chaney, and we've had quite a few offensive coordinators and different play calling styles and things of that nature in this offense for a while now. So it's been nice to kind of have the same offensive coordinator for a couple of years now. So we know what he wants to call. We're familiar with the game plan and the plays he likes to run. So from a receiver standpoint, it allows us to kind of play a little faster. And kind of get things going.
Brandon, when you look at your game the other night, your first big catch, Tennessee hadn't done a whole lot offensively till you had that one-handed catch. And then you think about your second big one, South Carolina had pulled even 24-24. How nice is it to when you kind of look back, just the impact a big catch can have on a game and the fact you had two of them?
It feels great just knowing I can help my team. And that's really what it's all about. No more, no less. I just want to help my team win. That's the reason why I'm still here.
Go to Trey Wallace, followed by Blake Toppmeyer.
Brandon, when you redshirted last year and the decision was made with you and the family and Coach Pruitt, how big was that for you to be able to sit back and learn the offense Jim Chaney was putting together, and then be able to come out in your first game and be able to be productive and help your teammates the way that you did? What was that feeling like in your emotions?
It felt great. It was a kind of a sigh of relief, kind of knowing that I made a correct decision. Because it was a difficult decision to sit down and make with my family and Coach Pruitt. But I feel like it worked out for the best, and I just look forward to continue to help my team.
Yeah, Brandon, kind of a similar question, a follow-up, I guess, what Drew was asking about. When you did decide to redshirt last year and come back, was Saturday sort of the type of thing you were envisioning, when you made that decision? Were you envisioning, coming back and having a big role this year and making the type of performance you had Saturday?
Yeah, that's always something you envision. Even as a football player in any circumstance, you always dream of just making big plays and really just being able to help your team. So, it's a blessing. I thank God that I'm able to do so.
And if I can ask one more, can you take us through the one-handed catch there and just take us through that play, what that was like from your perspective?
Oh, it was cool, man. It was really cool. I lost the ball for a little bit in the lights. So, I lost for a second, finally came back down, I found it. I was okay, cool. And I was able to get a hand on it. And, yeah, that's it.
Go to Vince Ferrara, followed by Austin Price.
I think you're on mute, boss man.
Yeah, Brendan, sorry. I know that the freshmen really didn't get as much of an opportunity as they would have liked because a lot of guys have been out in camp. Talk about the rest of the guys that really contributed in that South Carolina game, like Bayless and Palmer with that touchdown. How did you guys feel like you performed as a group?
I feel like we did some good things. We put some good things on tape during that game, but we're not satisfied at all. We know we can play a lot better than what we did, just breaking down the film and looking at it. So, we're hungry, man. We're hungry just to come back out and make a big improvement from week 1 to week 2.
Brandon, you go back to your, 2017. You missed the fastball from JG against South Carolina there down near the goal line. You make a one-handed catch Saturday night. Is that just kind of, is that symbolic of how far this program has come since that time? That same team, you make an unbelievable catch. And a couple of years later, now that you're older, and when you sat down, and when your Trey asked you about this, when you sat down and talked with your family, how much of that did you kind of think, man, was it a tough, like even after you made the decision, did you go back and forth, go, man, did I make this right decision?
Yeah, it was never just it was always a tough decision because just from a football player's perspective, it's hard to just watch your brothers go out there and play every Saturday. So that was always hard. So I always wonder, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decision? But I mean, hey, I feel like I leaned on God with this decision, leaned on God and my family, and I feel like, I can't have any regrets if I do that. So.
You've seen, to follow up, you've seen kind of how much this program has grown since 2017.
Yeah.
Just can you speak on, where you guys were then, not to look back, but I mean, just how far you guys have come?
Yeah, I mean, I think the proof is in the game that you guys just saw. I mean, we have come a long way from that point, and I feel like we're really close as a team, and I think we really know how to play with one another. So I think we look good, really good.
Go to Gustavo and then to Kellyanne.
Brendan, what do you say about your connection with Jeremy Antonini? Everybody's praising the catch, but what do you say about your connection between you and your quarterback?
Oh, man, it's great, man. I love JG. I mean, I couldn't have caught that ball if he didn't place it where he placed it. I mean, that was a perfectly thrown ball. And, I mean, I got all the faith in the world in JG. I'm so proud of him, how far he's come from when we first got here. And I can't wait to see him keep going.
Hey Brandon, home opener this Saturday, but it's gonna look a little different on game day without a lot of the long-standing traditions with the ball walk or running through the tee. But so what are you expecting this Saturday without those traditions?
It'll definitely be different. Like my first time ever playing the kneeling without like all the traditions and things that we're so accustomed to and the things we love. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still about football. And that's what we'll be focused on. We're focused on getting our second win of the season, and that's the main goal.
And as a quick follow-up, though, how excited are you to play back at Neyland, even with the limited amount of fans that you guys will have on Saturday?
I'm super excited. I mean, it's nothing like playing in Neyland. I mean, it'll definitely be different without all the fans, but there's still nothing like playing in Neyland, and I'm really just super excited.
Thanks, Brandon.
Go to Brent Hobbs and then back to David Owen.
Brandon, you were an observer to this at the end of last year, and obviously a part of it on Saturday night. Why do you think this program has learned, or how did this program learn how to win close games, particularly in the second half?
We just buy into Coach Pruitt and what he's telling us, and I mean, it's one of our game maxims. I mean, we put on more steam. That's what we do if things not going our way. And Coach Pruitt always tells us to find a way to win. That's no matter what it is, no matter what the score says, we have to find a way to win. And I think as a team, we really buy into that. And I think that's why we're coming out on top.
Brandon, as a follow-up, was there a moment you think for this team where that sort of clicked, that hey, this buy-in, it works, this mantra works, and it kind of steamrolled from there? Do you think there was a particular moment, or do you think it just happens over time with maturity?
I think it happens over time and maturity. As you guys saw last year, the latter half of last season, we really started to pick things up. So I think over time, it takes time, but once as a whole you buy in, you start having success.
David?
Brandon, what was from your experience, what was the biggest difference in taking a road trip for a game during a normal season versus during a pandemic during this season?
I would probably say all the health precautions that we have to take. So everything that we practice around the facility, around the complex, with social distancing and wearing your mask and things of that nature. I mean, it's all the same thing on the road. So I mean, it does kind of slow things down from like an operating standpoint, from just moving around from point A to point B. But I mean, it's doable. It's not too bad, but it does kind of slow things down a little bit.
All right, Rick Russo and then Brent Hobbs.
Hey Brandon, the SEC presidents and chancellors are meeting this week to decide whether to waive the rule, to tweak the rule, which would allow players to transfer immediately within the conference. It's something that would directly affect Cade Mays. I'm curious, what's your thoughts on that in a year where the NCAA is allowing an extra year of eligibility? Your thoughts on that and the ability to waive that rule to allow players to transfer and go immediately into action to another SEC team?
I didn't really know too much about what was going on with that, but all I do know is that we support Cade Mays 100%, and we want him out here, but playing with us as soon as possible. So However we can get that done, I think that needs to happen. So we're behind Cade 100%.
Brandon, you obviously had waited a long time for Saturday night. What were the pregame and what was the build up like for you? Were you nervous? Was it, hey, once you get the first play out of the way, you were good to go? Just kind of what were your emotions like pregame, and then what was the feeling like after the game, knowing that you had been a big part of Tennessee winning a football game, which you hadn't experienced in a year?
Mm-hmm. There's always your pregame jitters, just anxiousness, just ready to kind of be out there on the field. But I was just super excited, man. Like, it's been a long time since I played, and I couldn't wait to get out there. And I mean, post game was just joy, just happiness, man, just to be able to contribute and help my team win. So it was awesome.
All right, back to Blake and then back to Vince.
And Brandon, you've been around this program such a long time. I mean, there were times during your career where you guys barely had enough offensive linemen to play a game on Saturday. Just where do you see this offensive line now compared to where it's been, and what's maybe the potential for that group this season?
What was the last part of your question? It kind of broke up.
Just the potential for that group this season.
Oh man, the sky's the limit for offensive line group right now. I mean, I got 100% faith in them. They look good every day, practice, game time, and we have an O-line full of leaders, man. They really know what they're doing, and they're always guys we can look up to and look towards and try to match their energy.
Brandon, I know last week, I think it might have been Eric Gray talking about, that Coach Graham might do a great job in terms of a pregame speech for you guys. Who handled your pregame speech, and what was that like for you?
Just Coach Pruitt, man. Just Coach Pruitt knows how to get everybody going. Yeah, he's really good at it. So I mean, that's why I want to hear Coach Pruitt before every game. He get me going.
All right, we'll finish with Trey Wallace.
Thanks, Bill. Brandon, how much has T. Martin been an influence on you, going back to even when you redshirted last year? What has been his part, and how much have you learned from him?
I've learned a lot from Coach T. Coach T is a great coach, and he's been nothing but supportive of me from last year, even when I wasn't playing. Never treated me any different. Coach T is a great coach, man. I love him, and I just appreciate everything he's taught me from football to even just regular life. Coach T is a great coach, man.
All right, thanks, Brandon. We appreciate it.
All right, thank y'all.